Okay, I just keep getting more and more comfortable with you guys. I got a cup of tea sitting here, and I got some tissues. My nose is so stopped up, so that's what I was saying. I have to blow my nose, pick my nose or something. I have some tissues. My nose is so stopped up right now. We've been in this total rain thing again. We'd been in the fog for days and days, and then it started raining, and oh man, this stuff with Ohio, like, fuck, dude. God damn, it's fucked. God, fuck. It's heartbreaking. And the motherfucking, how they lie. God damn, they just lie to the public. A lot of people are gonna die. A lot of people are gonna die from that. They're already telling them to go back home. It's so fucking dangerous if you see the fires and shit. And people explaining what the chemicals, and that's just the ones that they tell. It can be anything in there. These motherfuckers lie about everything. And then people, like, you see these people waiting for the official report over what's shot down. It's like, are you kidding me? Have you never heard of Roswell? Like, what? I swear to God, I'm telling you, the past couple, I don't know, 24 hours for sure. And I'm getting this horrible headache again, too. And when I went to go pick her up, and so I was in the car, and my AI with my phone and my car are they're not getting along. I don't know what the hell has happened to them. They will just sometimes they will just shut each other out. So lately I have to keep listening to the radio when I'm driving, and I always get Canadian radio the best, and so I know it can't be that far because, like, I don't get very many stations. And so I heard their weather, and they said that it's supposed to be an Arctic blast this morning is going to come in, and a windstorm, and they did it in kilometers, and I didn't go look it up. I think they said 40 to 70. And so it's been raining and raining. Everything is so wet. The river yesterday when I went was crossing the road, but just barely. But it's been raining, raining, raining. And, they wash out these roads over here all the time. And we already have limited evacuation. And then, and this shit is done on purpose. Nobody's gonna fucking tell me this shit is not done on purpose. Anybody thinks Ohio wasn't. And I saw a guy yesterday sitting here making excuses for him. I was like, dude, like, fuck. I blocked him. I was like, I can't. I blocked so many people yesterday. Because it is, like, people are showing, like, fuck, no way, man. It's mental. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the past 24 hours have been crazy to me. Like, what the hell? So so everything is sopping wet here, like totally unstable. The trees are, I mean, and then they're going to bring in more wind, and then the coldness, man, these are just, some of these storms are just unbearable, man. It's like, oh my God, this is just, come on. Hurry up and do your fucking shit. And the way they build up, I mean, they've been planning this shit for a long ass time. And I saw this whole weird thing about somebody talking to AI about, and this is old. Like, I don't even know. There's so many people sharing so many different videos. I've seen videos that there's a 9.5 earthquake in Japan, and you don't hear anything about it. It's like, okay, so are they hiding this? Is this really happening? Or someone making this shit up? Like, what? And then, now Turkey, it's up to like 30,000. Their government is calling out ours and all of the global government. So, or NATO, all that stuff. Some words that you always have to cut them off. Like, you can't say whole words. And then people who don't, like, want to just come in and bitch, will just come in and say stuff. Like, finish a sentence. Sorry, you're going to have to learn how to fucking understand code. Like, you want to communicate in real time, real language about what's really happening. You got to talk in code. There's no fucking, these people, God, the people are just like over the top rude. And somebody came in and said, why are you slurring? Oh, that I have a brain injury. Like, take and shove it up your ass, bitch. God, and the cussing thing is too, like, and I've talked about the cussing thing before. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, would you be as offended if I was a man if I cussed? Would you be as offended? I mean, where's your boundaries? Do you turn off every movie when you hear a cuss word? Like, you know, it's ridiculous how people want to control other people, even with the pronouns and shit. Like, you want to turn us into cis, but then we need to make sure that we acknowledge your pronouns. Like, what about fucking mine? So what if I fucking talk like a sailor? God damn. It's like, I have emotions. Sorry. Oh, that's how they come out. At least I'm not running around stabbing people, running over people and shit. I cuss. And people are like offended. Oh my God. That's just really a way to bring people in. Oh, really? Just being real? That may not do it. So there's a bunch of things about that too. Like, man, I'm going to be all over the place because I'm not even to the part of the stuff I wanted to talk about yet. So whatever they have here is so unstable, but they've been doing it like ever since I saw when they started killing the trees out here. And then when I went on those drives and I saw all of the forests that were burned down while I was driving through the mountains, and then I saw, like, I just see like what they're doing. I see the plan. I don't have to go in and read the agenda if I can see it. And you know, and the only explanation to me is why other people don't see it is because they're trapped somewhere in their own mind, replaying something, living in the past or living in fear or something. So they don't see what's right in front of them. And so anyways, you know, all this stuff going on out here. So if the wind's going to come in, if it's 40 to 70 kilometers, well, I don't even fucking know. But even if it's 20, I mean, they'll say on our weather thing, it's like 10 or 12, and it's like blowing like crazy with gusts of 35. So probably, I don't know. Today will probably be hairy. Yesterday they did their whole fucking ritual. And, you know, there's weird stuff. Like, I think she probably is wearing a fake belly, for one thing. And there's this whole thing about giving birth. They had a commercial. And there was some other things. Like, there's a bunch of her poses for this picture for the show or something. And it looks like she's an egg. She's standing on this white and she has this yellow over, like she's the yolk inside the egg. All of this symbolism they put behind because it's a new beginning. They know it's a new beginning. They want it, you know, they want to force us into their science new beginning. But it's all going to keep being exposed. People are going to keep turning their back on it. I mean, it's so absurd that this stuff that they used to do, you know, down in tunnels and basements and hide in the dark and the spase sticks, you know, I mean, it's been their thing for so long. And now they don't have to hide. People sign up. I mean, guys want a womb transplant? Yeah, hell yeah. Take my penis off, put it in a vagina that I have to stretch out every single day? Yeah, hell yeah, sign me up. Like, I mean, they got these people just signing up to be their experiments. Like, so it's just right out in the open. But the more people see, the more people are going to have to, you know, it's from inside. Like, I don't know how to explain to people because it's been inside of me. Like, it is the choice between good and evil. It's like it's something inside of you. And anyways, so we got the I gotta think. I really do have a bunch of things. A bunch of things keep rushing in. It's like, oh, I can't go off of that already. I can't go off of that already. God, I'm so wheezy too. And I feel so out of it too. Like, even sleeping in, I put on the meditation music, and I don't know if that is just making me more deeper out or something, or if it's just this waking up, going back to sleep all this time. But I feel so out of it. Even today when I got up, it was like around my eyes, like this was really sunken in black. I was like, man, am I morphing into something? Like, what the hell is going on? That's so weird. I don't know what chemicals they spray on it. I think that they definitely spray something that probably does knock us out. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to whistle through this, I guess. Man. So I don't even know if you can hear, but it's like a whistly sound when I keep breathing. I'm really wheezing. And so the weather thing, because I was saying like in the rain and stuff, whatever they are pouring down on us, I think it is something that makes people more docile, especially when you hear about like they're spraying lithium up there. And that is what they use for bipolar people to stabilize their moods. And anybody who's taken it, all it does is like it puts you into a sedated state. And so they're spraying that over us. Like, and I mean, what they're going all in on fucking Ohio, man. Fuck. Oh, god damn. And when you see footage of what people are showing, and they're right there, man. In the fire, the explosions and stuff, like, oh, Jesus Christ. All that shit is up in the air, and that is going out across everywhere, too. And bet your ass that it's going to mix with whatever came out of the balloons, like all of this stuff is together. And then they're trying to push now. They're going to go all in on the blue beam with the fake alien invasion. I mean, they're totally setting that up. It's so ridiculous. Like, it's so absurd, and I cannot even believe. And then you go in and you say stuff, and the reaction of people, that is like one of the big things I want to talk about is like the people. Like, it's fucking, man, it's mind-blowing. But so on the because there was another thing that just popped into my head about the Ohio and Alaska, like it's everywhere. They're over China, like all of these things. And then they are now making like we need to be scared. So that's what they do. And so there's gonna be more of the nonsense. It's just so, god damn, it's so ridiculous. And man, what is that thing that I keep trying to see? It is this other thing keeps getting in the way. Because there's some big cylinder thing that they're flying around. Oh, also, people saw a rocket going over by, I think she said she was in Michigan, but it could have been, I don't know. I really do feel really tired, really loopy or something. Yesterday, and I just turned on music and danced and danced and danced. Oh yeah, because that fucking show. And I placed myself in the arena or Coliseum, and but the stuff I had seen of the show, and then the pictures of like her thing to promote it or whatever, and about this like a birthing, and then it's the rebirthing of this new world, and they know it's happening. This is what is so frustrating, is how these people who think, like, they come in and try and tell you stuff, and it's like, you're believing the people who are lying and hiding shit from you, instead of, like, everybody should be listening to conspiracy theorists at this point, as far as I'm concerned. Like, this is mental. And then plus this morning, even when I was doing my hair, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like total radiation burns, like where it's just going right around. And then the hair is so white and so fine. It's growing back in. And to me, I just sold off for the med beds. Like, whatever, any of the things, don't get caught up in feeling really like bad about any of this stuff. Like, I know lots of things are happening with lots of people, and as long as you, to me, it's like, as long as you can just keep on, like, being on a crutch, just getting through this, like I had said before a long time ago, that like that poster back around Vietnam time, when it had those 3 guys walking, and they were all tattered and stuff, coming back from war. It was on a t-shirt. And that is what comes to my mind. By the end of this, people are going to be just war-torn, tattered, and beat down and exhausted. But so the med beds, though, will go in and fix a lot of that stuff just by, you know, raising the vibration and doing our cells and stuff. Oh, yeah, that was something with the quantum thing. There's a lot of stuff like the quantum computer thing. The guy was saying, I can't say for sure how it was being talked to or whatever, because there's a lot of people going in and asking the AI now, but this is something out of like a CIA file or FBI files or something. And it is, the quantum computer is sentient, and it was telling them that this whole thing was a test to for about trying to find the super soldier. I said like the whole time, only it wasn't who could withstand all of the different poisons. It was who could withstand all the mental abuse that were going to put us through. That is what they were looking for the achievement to be, and to see who could break free from the herd. So I don't know. And then he said that there's going to be a whole thing once this flip thing happens and it is shown and they see, then they're going to know who withstood, and then they will be welcomed into some other role, and then there will be some of them who won't go. This is the sentient quantum computer saying this. There will be some that won't go, that will start a revolution to go against the other. So, you know, I don't know. I think, you know, I think that once things turn, it's going to be leaving control. Like, that's what we're breaking free from, is control. And so, like, people like me, who I think are going to be the ones who are going to be coming out of nowhere. I mean, like, like no, it's not 2.5 years yet. No, it's just over 2 years. And like the repression, and that isn't even counting all of the accounts and stuff that have been taken down of mine. So those of us who have been heavily censored, and it's also a certain group, because there will be like the people who have been like ones that have been really popular, like giving us the news and telling us what's going on, and all of those people, like, they won't be necessary anymore at that capacity, but they will still be like mad respected by so many people, and they will still be valued, but it won't be like they won't be doing the same thing. I don't think, you know, some may go and start podcasts and stuff, but it's not going to have the same drama to talk about. It's going to be people who are more like me, who are trying to tell people how to heal. That's going to be the big movement towards. And so that's the one when I don't know when that door is going to open. They always tell me, like, it's all about the timing. It's all about when the student is ready, the teacher is there. And so it is that transformation. And so that there's a lot of us who, and it is, it's like written in the prophecy, the wounded healer, the ones who came in and were in the shadows, who went through a lot of trauma and stayed true to the divine, and then now are here to tell the story to help guide others, because so many people are going to be lost. And man, when I go in and I read comments, like, it's fucking so clear. I saw this guy this morning, and he is some sort of religious expert or something. Like, he has studied all the different religions and all the texts and all that stuff. And he is, I give you, I mean, you may know who he is. I didn't know who he is, but a lot of the pictures that I'm seeing are really small, and so I can't see that good anyways. Like, I can't freaking see my own giant face. And then, and now I keep doing all these with my new, I I gotta have to perfect this stuff. Kind of like keep having it all under my eyes. But anyways, he's darker. He has a beard and a lot of hair, and I don't know, probably like 45-ish, 50-ish or something like that, like a mature man. And he, but no gray. And he was talking about a conversation that he had with somebody in the video clip I saw. And it was somebody trying to tell him about Jesus or something. And so he started saying, well, I am a God. God is, now my throat's totally attacked. Oh my God. It's like a lock just comes and like goes over it. Hold on. So he goes, I am a God. And, which it really confused the guy or whatever. And he tells the guy, you know, God is energy and it's the fractals and I'm a piece of what that is. And, you know, tells him, and the guy, he said he was still just like, no, Jesus is God or whatever it was. And then the guy goes, do you know who wrote the Bible? And he's like, yeah. He starts going through the apostles' names. And the guy was like, no, those guys were all illiterate. Nobody wrote it back then. Those, and he went through and explains like how it was written, where it was written, like who wrote it, what years it was written. It was written so way past, and it was based more on stories to control the people, and they used other religious texts, even some out of the Sumerian tablets, but they went in, there's like so many he was talking about. There's so many different of these scriptures. What is that? Like the tablets, like where stuff is written really old, like the Sumerian tablets. It's written on tablets. It's carved in. And the story, that's the story of us coming from the Anunnaki, and how they messed with their DNA and stuff to create slaves so they didn't have to work so hard in the atmosphere here. They wanted to use something that was more natural to this environment. And so they started messing with the DNA of the different animals, just like what people do now. And only they were doing it way long time ago. It's so nutty how these people think like these are monsters in the sky. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? You worship these fucking scientists, and these ones are learning from those ones. Like, what are you talking about? You mental? And it's just the reaction, like they're all so reactive. Oh yeah, it was that dream. Okay, so this woman, she said this dream this morning. So she said that she has been having, like, her dream thing is different than most people. She said, like, she remembers every single detail of every single dream ever since she was little, and she thought everybody else could. It was only until she got to be like 40 where she started realizing she was different. And so she had this dream that she wanted to share. And she didn't say anywhere in there like her dreams are prophetic or anything like that. She was just saying that she has very vivid dreams, and she can remember them all. And so she wanted to share this one. And so she said that it was all of a sudden in the sky, there was like 1 million spaceships. And then the Anunnaki and someone else, I know she said another race of beings, came, and they said that they were here to help us and they had to remove all of the evil. And then she said all of a sudden these like a tornado kind of looking thing opened up, and I think she said they were red, which is really weird because that's over another place again. I saw footage, like another one of those is over. And man, that is weird. Because 32,000 gone from that one. And I don't know each person's personal history, so I can't say for sure. But so she was saying that, so all of a sudden it starts pulling all of these people up at once. Like she said, millions of people. She said it was tons of people. And she said you can hear them screaming in the sky and stuff. And the Anunnaki said that they were removing all of the evil. And she said once it was done, she said it felt so peaceful. She said it felt like, oh my God, it felt so peaceful here. And then she went on to say it was that the Anunnaki told her it was clearing the path because he's coming, he's to return now and all that stuff, and he'll be here soon and all this. You had to make way for him to come back. And so, it turned into that. But I don't know, that the whole thing with them all getting sucked up with the rapture. And then also with, there's been always a thing about ships coming and taking people, and the lower vibration people that couldn't be on the planet anymore because the vibration was going to rise. And the people who seem to be so stuck, stuck in, I think most people are stuck in their own pain and suffering, but it holds them, it imprisons them into other roles in life that they don't seem to be able to break free from. And then, and it says, even in that Anunnaki book, the ones that are shallow and superficial and artificial and stuff, they won't be here. The ones that don't care about other people, they're going to be taken away. And so, and then that, is more confirmation about this, we would be staying on this planet. It wouldn't be the people going to Age of Aquarius leaving. It would be the planet being cleared. And so, I don't know, these things up in the sky, if they are going to keep opening over these big disasters, then a huge amount of people are going to leave. But I know that kids and stuff went, but then I have known the whole time from a while back, I said, like, kids and stuff, like, there's going to be people who are going to leave just to be the catalyst to somebody else's awakening. So those people will leave too. It's like they finished their role, so they don't have to continue staying. There's nothing for them to do. And so wherever, they go back to wherever they go to. It's like, go. I mean, they can just step to the side and watch as things play out. And then when we get to that other vibration, I think some of them can step right back in. I think that's that whole concept of the dead and the live walking together on heaven on earth, because everything is so held back here by the vibration. And yesterday, when they try and lower the vibration, you got to keep trying to make it higher, because they keep trying to keep it low and keep people trapped. And so doing everything that, you can to keep raising it, and just finding your own joy, and then spreading, joy around to others, is raising the frequency. Just, you can, if you're an awake person, just you walking past somebody can wake them up without you ever talking to them. It's the energy. Just how I've said, like when people go to the mall and they're feeling all down and defeated, like that's the worst place to go, is a public place. Because then you're going to get all those attachments where they're going to come. Like they can find you without you even going out. But then, they could be attached to somebody else, and maybe you're more down and this person's feeling a little better. So they hop on you. Like you go to the mall and come home feeling like, you just went and walked a marathon. So, because you just drug home all of this other depressed energy. And so it is, people just got to start understanding life on these other levels, and they're just so stuck in this primitive way of thinking. Like yesterday, this was more, I may still pop back and forth with some of this other stuff, but the comments, man, with people, it's just mind-blowing. Hold on. Because they are so like primitive. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's like you're not thinking anything outside the box at all. it's so controlled the way they think. And the religion thing, man, that's going to really blow some. I mean, there's so many people. Every fucking video I do, the religious people, I are just, oh my Lord. And yesterday I did a video because my daughter, the one who has got, like, I don't even know how many. But later in the evening, she did call, or she did text me and ask, because she had said that she was feeling super, super sad. And I said, well, there's a lot of dark, heavy energy right now on the planet. Like, man, what's going on in Ohio and shit. And in Turkey, like there's so much. And she said, I don't think that's it. I think it's something. I said, well, you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself. And she said she was trying. And I said, well, works best if you do it in meditation. And so you can, like, listen for the answer. And I there's a whole other ways of communicating too. But, I mean, you have to be at a certain level where you can understand the TV's really talking to you and you're not crazy. Or the music is talking to you. Or the numbers. Like, they're always talking to you. But it's people's own ability to see and understand is what holds them back. And so, anyway, she did ask me for some, what to listen to for meditation. So I sent her some of those meditation music things. But she totally triggered me yesterday because just out of the blue, she just texts me and says that she's going to go to Tijuana next month with somebody who's going there to get a procedure. For number one thing, you don't fucking go. Unless you're planning on, giving up some kidneys or some shit. You don't go there right now for a procedure. Like, no fucking, are you kidding me? Like, right now, evil is running everything. Like, it's mental. And then go to Tijuana. I was like, what? Like, I already saw the footage. That one woman, she keeps trying to get her kid who's gone missing there. She can't find her kid. And the footage there, it's like a fucking war zone. There's so many places that are out of control and people don't get. Like, it's just, stuff is crazy. And they will take you as a hot, oh man, oh my God. I was so triggered. I was just like, what in the hell? So I did this TikTok. Like, I'm not going to start yelling at her or arguing with her or trying to tell her she's stupid or whatever. So I just did this TikTok. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. What did I say? I said, being, not paying attention, I said, Jesus Christ, not knowing what's going on in the world is going to get you killed. Like, fucking pay attention. You're stressing us out. Just like real quick like that. I think it was like 8 seconds. Oh my God. You shouldn't use the Lord's name in vain. If you want people to care about what you think, you shouldn't cuss. There was like all these things where that, like, yeah, Jesus is coming. You need to get right with Jesus. Jesus is our Lord and Savior, all the fucking time. And so you get, like, anything you say anything about God, you say anything about religion, like, I don't know. I think that I don't know that, because I've done some videos about religion, and I don't think that I've gotten as many where they come in and just start saying stuff. It's more the other people saying, yeah, why can't they see? Why can't they see? So maybe, but definitely you talk about some things and they all come in. It's weird how they all just come in and start telling you about, you're not going to go to heaven and you're going to hell and all of this stuff. It's like mental, to the point where it's like, I can't even imagine you're a real person. Like, this is too weird. And so then you have them. Then you start talking about the UFO thing. Oh my God. You say they're not monsters in the sky. Oh, no, you're a crazy fool if you don't think that those are demons that are coming to get us. Yeah, they're not aliens. They're demons. And they are coming to get us. And, well, I'm a complete fool if I don't understand that. And people will even start saying the reptilians and the Dracos. I was like, that is basing all humanity on the criminals. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just going to pick these two that we've heard of that are just all warring. And then, and, it really got me going back with the Daniel Scranton thing, because through my awakening and stuff, that's back when I started going and started going to listening to tarot all the time. Like everything just started opening up to me. That's when I started doing yoga and Reiki and meditation and all of that stuff. All started around the same time. And so it was, and that is when I paid and had some different sessions. And one was with Daniel Scranton. And so I wanted to ask some questions. And his was, he was channeling the Arcturians. He channels them the most. Every day he channels the Arcturians. And so they come in and you talk to them directly through him. Like he doesn't know what you're talking about or whatever. And so you ask, so he goes into like a trance and just lets you speak to them through him. And they told me that I was going to be some sort of ambassador to this alien thing, this thing that's going on. And I can't remember, I just remember that word saying it. And then I had seen this other girl, she was sharing her on YouTube or something. She was sharing her session. And in hers, I think he had said about that she was going to be an ambassador. And so then I was like, so I wonder if they just say that all the time to people or if there's certain people. And they explained something else too. But now I see exactly what they were talking about. It's like there has to be people who are willing to speak the truth and speak up and poke holes in the narrative. And if there wasn't, some of us, like I can see, like we are the bridge because we understand. Like and one of the people, they're like, oh, something about how do you know something or whatever. Because I've been talking to him since I was a little kid. And it's like, don't you think if they wanted to kill us, that like they could have a million fucking times by now? Like people just don't understand. Like they are advanced. It's like if we went and started trying to gather up the ants and explain to them something, like they couldn't get us to understand. We had to elevate. We had to want something more than to just be an animal on a planet. And then plus, I mean, ours, we're so violent towards each other and so misled, so manipulated. And that is so much about why, so much of this light has to come in to remove the dark. And then how, them taking these negative spirits. And then when you see like some of these people, like it's madness. Like there's so many of these videos still where people are trying to catch a Karen or get in an argument and make the other person look like a total fool and go viral. Like there's so much of this, like it's mental. And especially some of the people are so smug following the people, and then the people are trying to hide, saying, please stop filming me. This one I just saw, I don't know what the argument was that became between these two people, why the woman got so mad at this guy, and he's some landscaper. She starts having a fit. She's dropping shit in the street. She's freaking out because he's videotaping her, and she doesn't want to go viral because she's having a fit. And she goes and gets a trash can and puts it over her head. It was like, oh my, and he just keeps standing there laughing. And to me, it was like, I don't see how this is really different than having the drugged out girl out there dancing and then putting stupid music to it. It's like you're kicking someone while they're down. This person is not in a good place. All these people who keep wanting to provoke nonsense so that they can go viral, and catch somebody having a meltdown on their phone so they can make fun of them. It's like, it's like so fucking last year. Like, get the fuck over it, people. Like, that energy to me is probably even more worse, like, than the Karen person. It's all based on intention. And so if the Karen person is really in this mode of protection, really in this mode of like being so beat down, and the other person's intention is to make them look foolish, well, that's what it's based on. And that's what people don't get. Like, you think you're doing something, but you're doing the opposite of what you think you're doing. And you would know that if you were connected internally, because internally you have a barometer. You have, even in this world of upside down, we can recognize that it's upside down because we have a barometer that we can, and all the people as they wake up all start saying, this is a circus. We're in some sort of circus. This is some sort of movie. Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, everybody who can see, starts recognizing that it's upside down, that nothing is the way it should be, that it's all lies, it's all nonsense. So that is part, and it's when people aren't seeing that, then you're like, okay, you're not seeing like this. When I have these people come in and start fucking attacking me in my comments, and the one guy, because he went on and he said something, because a couple of them I went on to see, are these real people? And there was one who was, I know for sure this one, because he really stood out to me, because he was going out there and telling people, calling them conspiracy theorists to say anything about the fucking Ohio. There's gonna be mass casualties from that. The people who are having pets die, or they're dying real quick. So, one guy said his chicken, he said all of a sudden it started doing some weird breathing thing, and then it just fell over, died. And people's pets, or all sorts of livestock. And another thing too, I saw is Amish guy talking about that they're running out all of the small farmers and stuff. Like, I don't know, I had seen the attacks on the Amish farmer who was taking on the government. They were trying to stop him with their same shit, like what I talked about all the way back when I was saying about this cat whisker fertilizer. Like, I didn't know what thing that they were using, but I knew that there was something. I knew there was something with the I knew how they were getting to the stuff. And so the feed and stuff, like, I knew it was in the and how that is how the FDA or whatever restricts you. Okay, yeah, we want your products, but you have to use this certain product. We only will accept this. This is how we've decided that this is safe, even though it's the exact opposite. And this is the only thing you're allowed to use. And so they're driving out all of these other ones. And this guy was saying that a lot of the chicken farms were small businesses. Even when they had 1 million chickens, a lot of them were not corporate owned, which there was still, there had to be some, because there was a lot of bad shit that went on, with the chickens. Like, a lot of that shit came out. So I don't know, but he was saying that a lot of them are small farmers, and that they're going into theirs and saying all your birds have the flu, and burning, he said, that 1 million at a time. So they're just going in. He said they're just driving out all of the small agriculture because they want complete control over it. One business, one company. He said it's going to one person, one business is going to supply all of our food. That's the whole problem, is because their plan is to grow the food, and there's already no nutrition in our food. And you can already see how sick and overweight people are because of what they've done to the food already, just over the past couple decades, what they've done. And so, yeah, it's just going to get worse and worse. And then with the emotional trauma that they do to people, and then the way that they, it goes with the fashion industry, the diet industry, the health, the physical food, it all goes together. When they set a tone when Kim Kardashian decides to own her body type and get everybody on board, so all the women go out there and like, yeah, I'm a size 10 and I'm proud of it. I'm a size 20 and I'm proud of it. They all get into this, we got all these women taking off their clothes, shaking their bodies, all proud of themselves. It's like I set a whole tone. And then she comes in and goes, oh, now I'm going to be skinny. And they start doing that. And even fucking Katie Couric was out promoting this new drug that all the actors, all the celebrities are just losing so much weight so fast on those Oxparka or some bullshit thing. The one that is like $3,000 a pill or some bullshit. And which probably is nothing to do with their weight loss. I'm telling you, especially with the Kardashian, it's just like, okay, pull out the size 6 this time. Oh no, let's go with the size 2. They just pull out one out of the closet, like fucking clones or something, not fucking real people. I mean, how in the world, like Kim has got to be, that is one of the things too with the MK Ultra is to remove your conscious, remove all your emotions, remove your feelings to the point where you're just like that, just a shell. Like she's just a shell that is just, lets her life become a caricature or something. Like a sex tape, and there's one after another of these relationships with these guys you've never heard of. And I don't know. You heard of Kanye, but I don't know. When she started, I didn't know who the fuck the guy was with the sex tape thing. And then who was the first guy? The basketball player guy that she was married to, like her big, huge, elaborate $200 million wedding or something, wedding that lasted 8 weeks or something. So see, they promote all their stuff. How many girls went and had big old giant fucking weddings after that? Everybody wanted a fucking princess wedding. So that became like they set a tone. And so all of the things that they own, the fashion industry, the dresses, and how they set the prices. They set the prices of the houses. Like how with the houses over here, I was thinking about like, when I got my house, it was 150. And then a year later, the houses are 300. And then 2 years later, they're 400. Like it's ridiculous. There's no reason for that. They do all of this shit just to fucking fuck with us. and how much money they make off of women, off of their weight and their insecurities. Like so much is promoted about that. They change the whole style of jeans to fit certain body types at certain times just to make women uncomfortable. Instead, women have got to just be like, hey, this is what looks good on me and I'm sticking with it. I don't care what they say the style is. I'm going to like me. I'm going to like my body. I'm going to like what's comfortable to me. I'm going to like what I like. And I don't need them to, toy with me. Toy with how you see yourself with your weight and stuff. Like, I don't know, because they do it to the people, who idolize these people. And there's still such a huge amount. And one thing is that these people who, talk all this smack about the celebrities, they need to realize all these fucking sports people are the same damn thing. And all the games are rigged, and it's all just to have this whole Colosseum. Like, it's so much like the Roman Colosseum kind of shit. And the way that people just participate, they're all still so, go out there and sit and cheer if someone gets their head ripped off. Like, I don't know. It's so weird. And, oh yeah, that guy with the religious thing. When he was talking about that thing, I don't know why that just came into my head really strong with the Persian. Ever since that whole thing yesterday, now I've gotten so many more visions, like, about that whole thing, about this, I don't know who I was in that light, like my attachment to that. And that's what, when you ask something As I was trying to tell my daughter, ask the thing you got to trust. Like, there's lots of people, like, you start getting visions that other people will be like, oh, I'm just making that up. I'm just dreaming that. I thought of that. It's like, no, your brain isn't just there thinking of things. Like, it's coming. It's information coming from somewhere. There's still these people arguing about the stairs. It's like, you got to see, like, nothing is made up. Anything that is written, it exists. Anything that is spoke of, it exists. Everything goes into existence once it is spoken. It is there. The stairs are there. And I just saw a video, because there's so many people, the stairs, that's made up. That's off Reddit. But there's so many people that became so intrigued by the stairs. They're like, there's way more stories than the one, just the good night made up story one. No, but I mean, when people make up stories, then they're going to use a ghost. They're going to use things that people are scared of. The people, man, I swear to God, I don't understand how these people think. Like, even when I heard that guy sitting there making excuses for the government over Ohio, it's like, what? And calling people because it, like, doing a stitch to tell somebody, like, keep your conspiracy theories, stupid. It's like, oh my fucking God. Oh my Lord. It's like, you see all this stuff and you're making excuses for the government. Like, oh my God. I'm sure they're the ones that are out there who don't see anything. That's normal clouds in the sky. That's normal. I don't know what you see. I see normal clouds. That is where, you start being like, do they see normal clouds? Like, is it like when you're in that world, or do you really only see what you think you see? Like, and you're not seeing what those of us who wake up see. It really makes you think that they really are not seeing it. Like, their mind can't accept that the sky doesn't look, or that the sky looks weird, so they just don't see it. And I don't know. And then, what was that? There was or something else I was going to say about, oh man, I feel so out of it. I feel like I'm just going to sit here and just keep saying, Okay, let me think for a second. There was something else. I think that lady's dream seems like it kind of is already happening. Like, they're already pulling these people up. Like, I know it is about their frequency changing on the planet. I know that it's going to be, that it's going to change. When it changes, especially when we get access to the quantum stuff, we're going to be able to heal. We're going to be able to do stuff so much differently. There's so much that holds us back because the frequency, it interferes. So it's going to, as it raises, I think we're going to get, people are going to get healthier. They're going to feel better and see things more clear. So I don't know, to me, is we're having so much chemical warfare right now. That is what is man, I don't know. Like, they can come in, man, I don't know. I mean, still some's going to go with the water, for sure. The water, the map thing is going to change. There's still going to be something with the water. There's still going to be something with tsunamis and earthquakes and volcanoes and shit like that. So, and these people are still going to keep messing around and doing stuff with these storms and stuff. And still, I think the whole thing with Turkey, it's all about this money and stuff. And then after, Putin has said, we're not going to deal with America anymore unless we're only doing gold, because he's the one who's like the spokesman to push on to get us to start noticing, like, gold stuff. Well, like, the stuff they're saying is supposed to get people to, like, question things, get them to wake up or whatever. And so he is bringing all of that stuff up. And then we go and do that pipeline thing. And so all of that whole thing. And then whatever is going on over there with Turkey, it's the same kind of thing. They're trying to keep a hold on them, and their government is saying, they're calling out about the NATO and the HARP and all that stuff. So, and how many of them are killed? Like, there's so many, and how many there must be injured, and then there's still all this fighting. And where was it? No, that was, there's just a lot of stuff where people are saying, like, there's a lot of activity, a lot of stuff going on, and people are going on to, I think, like Monkey Works, where he shows, so a lot of people go on to that thing and see what airplanes are gathering at what place. And like when they shut down the airspace yesterday over Michigan, and then they shut it down over Montana. I don't remember if it was yesterday or something, but so everybody will go look and see what's going on there. And over Michigan, there's a whole shit ton of some sort of fighter jets or something. When you look to see what kind of plane it was, I can't remember what it was called, like an F-1790 or something. But there was some sort of all these fighter jets, a whole bunch. And so some of this stuff, well, some of it is drama made up to keep us distracted. And right now, like, the huge distraction, because not just the flight logs, but his personal friend list or something is about to be released. And so Andrew's name's supposed to be on it and stuff. So all of that is supposed to be coming out this week. And I think it started coming out over the weekend. And so that's when they said, so they're going to start doing all this distraction. There was a couple of other really big things too that they were, that is happening right now that they are not talking about, instead talking about this other thing. So, you know, that's what they always do. They bring something else up to talk about it so that they don't talk about what's really going on. And so and, you know, they're not talking about, well, everything they're saying about Ohio is very lies. They're just lying. And then they're arresting reporters out there who are trying to cover the story. And I think any of the people trying to show footage and stuff are at risk. It's like, it's definitely a dangerous situation. And I don't think that they mean to just do that one place in, which I just keep thinking is so strange how it's called Palestine. Like, I don't know. There's so much stuff with this Middle East, this battle with, you know, it's like this energy, this old energy or something. I don't know. I think somehow so many things fit together that we just don't see yet. And so, anyways, you know, no matter what, you know, there's no getting away from the inevitable. Like, I mean, they're gassing us like World War I or something, and Vietnam. And I was just thinking about, like, you know, when it showed the footage of what they were doing in Vietnam and spraying them with that Agent Orange and stuff. And it seemed like a lot of people just accepted it. And it's always like you accept it until it starts happening to you. Then it changes your tune real quick. And it, you know, that's the whole thing about, it's real easy to tell someone else what to do, but once you've walked in their shoes, once you've walked and seen, then you have a new respect, you have a new understanding, a new perspective. And so that is why so many of these things, you know, we have to see things from the other side, from the other perspective. How's it feel to be the one being sprayed, especially by your own fucking government? And then having to try and tell people who trust those people. And you know, I don't know, it's just so mental how much stuff that they don't see. Like, I don't understand. Like, even when I say anything to my kids, it's just like they have no idea, none whatsoever, of anything going on anywhere. And that I pay any attention to it, then I'm crazy. I shouldn't be paying attention to that. I should just be out happily living my life. I should probably get on Tinder and start dating and stop spending all my time doing weird stuff like going on YouTube and talking about stuff I shouldn't talk about. So that's why I say is like, it's crazy when they see. It's going to be, man, it's going to be something when they see. I get like little snippets and stuff that they'll show me. And there's going to be definitely, there's going to be some conversations. So what'd your mom say about that? Well, I don't know. I didn't watch her. I don't listen. I don't listen to that stuff. I don't listen to, it's going to be that. There's going to be some conversations like that. I know that. I knew the precursor that was shown last year on that one viral video of me, where then all of a sudden that's all anybody wanted to talk about. It's like, oh, yeah, I can see that. I can see it coming. I mean, I've been shown it and shown it and shown it and shown it. And even along the way, when I've tried to tell them, you know, and prepare them and get them to see, they can't. And I've talked about a lot of times, like, I'm not just talking about things in this world. I'm talking about, like, they show me a lot of my own personal things. And so when I talk about those things too, and how they all just think like I'm, you know, so crazy and stuff. And yeah, some of this stuff has taken a long time, but I'm not crazy. And I don't know, for them to come into that realization, that is going to really flip their worlds upside down, to see that I'm not crazy, to see me through that vision. And then I know how that is going to create so much questioning, you know, your own biases. Like, I was aware that how we look at things is created by our own biases. That was something I had to come to terms with, you know, with my own kids. It's like, oh my gosh, they have all these biases against me. But that's when I started realizing how many people see somebody through someone else's vision. You know, somebody else can tell you about somebody, but you don't get to know, you don't go and get to know them because you already see them through this other person's eyes. So you've already made your judgment call. And so I think a lot of that goes on especially in dysfunctional or toxic relationships, where somebody needs other people to have the same vision as them because they need the support. And so they will direct people to see what they see. They'll keep pointing out what they see instead of allowing others to see what they see and allowing others to all form their own opinions. And yesterday I was talking to my daughter about something, the one who's going to go to Tijuana. I was talking to her about something. And I can tell in a tone, you know, I can tell when somebody becomes triggered. And so then I was like, you know, I know you're triggered, but this is the gift from me to you. You have to go in and this is what the whole meditation thing too is like, you have to go in and you have to sit with that and try and see like what your trigger is. Like, why can't I talk about certain things without you being triggered? And it is you feeling, you know, like you need to save me, you need to fix things, I'm disappointed in you. Like, you need to go in and figure that out, because I should be able to just have conversations without it being a trigger. Like, where you know, you can have the conversation with me of my feelings or whatever, you know. You're not responsible for my feelings. And she even was saying that the one daughter who hasn't talked to me since the beginning of all of this quarantine, that she was, because it was realizing that her triggers from about is that she feels like I'm judging her, and that's her trigger. So she feels like I'm judging her, and so she has a hard time not seeing herself through my eye. This is so hard to explain. I could see it, but I don't know how to explain it as well. But it is like her feeling bad about herself but it's my voice, it's my record, it's something I've said. And so she replays that and feels like I'm judging her all the time, or feels like I'm down on her all the time, which makes her resentful and angry at me, and makes her feel like I don't love her enough and I don't see her. But see, it's all, that whole thing is coming from inside the one person. And that is the fucking gift that everybody has to start seeing. It is all comes from within. You know, when she recognizes that she's playing this record, I'm not sitting there, especially when she's cut me out of her life. I'm not even there anymore. And so whatever it is that you feel like I was judging you on, that you are the one judging you. You're the one who's holding on to that. And that is where I say it's like people get stuck in their past. They get stuck holding on to something painful and replaying it over and over and over. It's like this punishment. It's like we have to try and see, like, why can't we just release it? And to me, you can release it once you just let it go, you accept it. So it comes in and it keeps replaying. But to me, I think it gets to a certain part where people just look away. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to. And the hardest part always is to see yourself, to see yourself as a weak person, or a judgmental person, or a hateful person, or someone who's impatient or bitter, or any of those things, because we get so judgy on ourselves. But see, that's where you have to go in deeper and see, like, where did that come from? Where am I getting that pain from? It comes from somewhere, and it comes from old injuries. And it can be something so simple, just like old Uncle Tom telling you at the dessert table, you really need that second piece of cake, you know, and that traumatized you for years and years and years, affected you and your whole body image, your whole self-esteem. And once you go back and you see that and you start recognizing, you know, like, you know, why would I carry so much of this from Uncle Tom saying that? Like, big fucking deal. Like, who cares? But see, it's like you have to go back and dig up the treasure and find. And then you see, like, oh my God, this is silly. Like, I've been carrying this around all this time from this stupid remark that somebody said to me when I was 10 years old. And then you can release it, and then you can feel better. And then you start feeling like, yeah. But that doesn't mean it goes away. It means, like, you go to the table, you start to get that second piece of cake, or there's 2 or 3 kinds. Maybe you want to taste all of them, and you go to get extra or whatever. And then you start, the battle starts, the record starts. But this time you have awareness of it, so you can catch it. And then you can say, hey, wait a minute, I'm not playing that record anymore. And then it's your own thing. It's your own, like, to me, I went to a thing and I wanted to have 3 pieces of cake. Be like, well, you know, it's a special occasion. It's not like I'm going to go cook 3 cakes tomorrow and eat them all. You know, I'm going to enjoy this moment. I'm going to enjoy this time. I'm going to be present in this moment and enjoy it, and pull myself into that, and then do what I want to do. But that is where you gotta, it's like just practicing more to catch yourself when you start playing out these old broken records, these old programs. And then you flip it, you deprogram, reprogram, set it in another more positive way of speaking to yourself. And always bring yourself back to the present moment. What do you want to do in this present moment? What do you want to experience in this present moment? Not, you know, what, you know, how you felt when you were 10 years old. You know, you got to release that. You know, now you're 40 years old and you're still carrying around like this pain of somebody saying that. And like I said, his intention could have completely been based on watching his wife struggle with her weight their whole marriage, and he wanted to help a little girl out, you know. So, you know, not everybody, he doesn't have the knowing of what that's going to affect a 10-year-old girl, how she's going to feel when he says that. He doesn't know that. He doesn't have that perspective. That is why the whole point of this incarnating or understanding all perspectives. And the way you can understand perspectives is to live them, or to absorb yourself into the story. And so to experience, it's that by experience is what expands your ability to perceive and to accept. And so, you know, that's all part of the same thing, is when you can accept, you know, he may have been flawed, he may have said something stupid, but he didn't do it out of the intention to be mean or hurtful. You just took it that way because you were sensitive about something, you know. And maybe when you go in deeper and see, the thing is when you heal one thing and you'll feel good there for a while, but then there will be something deeper and something deeper. And that's why, you know, you got to get the stuff off the surface. It's just keep going into layer after layer. And so then you've gotten to that part, and then you're like, you are feeling good, but then all of a sudden you're hit with this other thing, like that your mom said when you were 6 years old. And, you know, you're in there getting in the cookie jar, and she says, you know, get your chunky little hands out of that cookie jar. You've already had 4 cookies, and you're gonna, and then your dad starts yelling out there, you're gonna get, you know, fat like your Uncle Sue, your Aunt Sue, you know. And you become humiliated. You're called out, you're seen, you're exposed. You're exposed for your need, your vulnerability to want cookies. I'm getting a call. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I might come back. I'll talk to you later. Bye.